You are about to experience the Jersey Jaguar YouTube channel, the greatest YouTube channel in all of history when it comes to your Jacksonville Jaguars. In order to become a subscriber to this channel, if you haven't done so already, you only need to fit 3 criteria. First, you must love the Jacksonville Jaguars. Second, you must hate, better yet even despise, the Tennessee Titans. And third, and most importantly, you must know in your heart with everything you have that Shad Khan is a complete and total buffoon. If you fit those 3 criteria, hit that subscribe button, join me on this YouTube journey, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Sit back, relax, and listen to the best Jaguar insight on the YouTube platform. Well, you guys, it has been almost an entire week since the 2022 NFL Draft has come and gone. Hard to believe already. And I've had some time to kind of collect my thoughts, really form some opinions of things that transpired. And this is the video telling you guys my final takeaways of the Jacksonville Jaguars 2022 NFL Draft. So we're going to start from beginning to end. First off, obviously, the big controversial thing, well, I mean, yeah, I guess it's not crazy to say controversial. The Jaguars reached with the first overall pick, okay? That is not saying that Trayvon, however you say it, that is not to say that he will be a bad player, but you can't really deny that the Jaguars reached with the first overall pick. And a team that's won 4 games in 2 years. How smart was that? Well, either Trent Baalke is the good old retard that we know him to be, or Trent Baalke is secretly an evil genius. We will find out. Because Trayvon Walker is by far the biggest gamble and risk that this franchise has ever taken in history. Bigger than Justin Blackmon, bigger than, I guess you could say, the Nick Foles contract. Okay, this is a big deal. Not many times has this team picked first overall back-to-back years. The Jaguars did it, and instead of taking what many to believe to be the more sure prospect, Aiden Hutchinson, or even not signing Cam Robinson and drafting Evan Neal or Akeem Ekwonu to play left tackle, the Jaguars signed someone who 2 months ago was a mid-first round pick. And I don't know how many GMs outside of Trent Baalke would have picked him first overall. My guess is I can probably count that number on one hand. It's probably 0. But we'll see. We'll see. As I stated earlier in I forget what video it was, but I'm not going to bash Trayvon Walker. Even if Trayvon Walker is a bust, I am not going to bash him because he didn't draft himself first overall. He didn't draft himself over Aiden Hutchinson. And honestly, I probably would have even taken Kayvon Thibodeau over him. But that is not his fault. Okay? So as Jaguar fans, we need to support him. We need to hope that he is everything that Trent Baalke thinks that he's going to be, because ultimately it's the best thing for the Jaguars. Now, everything that I've seen and heard tells me that although he is a massive question mark as a pass rusher, that he is excellent at stopping the run. Okay, and I don't give the Jaguars a whole lot of credit. Believe me, I don't. Especially Trent Baalke and Shad Khan. But I will say before I get any farther into this video, I can't remember a time since maybe 2014 where the Jaguars obviously had a plan going into a draft. They obviously had a plan, and that was to fix the front 7. That was their plan, and I really believe that between a little bit of free agency sprinkled in there and the draft, the Jaguars have massively improved their front 7. They play in a division with Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor, okay? You got to stop those guys. You have to stop those guys. Derrick Henry has demolished us game in and game out, year after year. Even if Trevon Walker isn't a double-digit sack guy, if at most what he is a massive gap eater, and if the Jaguars' run defense is top 10 this year, and mostly because of him, whatever, cool, I'll take it. But I can tell you one guy who I am almost 100% positive that by November, December, every single Jaguar fan will adore this man, love this man, Devin Lloyd. I get this feeling, I know this is kind of stupid to say, I get this feeling from Devin Lloyd that he's the kind of guy that normally like the Baltimore Ravens draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers draft, like maybe the Green Bay Packers draft, and they're like a multi-Pro Bowl in TV commercials. You see their jersey around. Like, Devin Lloyd is going to be massive and a huge fan favorite for Jaguar fans. I really, really believe that. I really do. He's going to be able to line up everywhere. He's great as a pass rusher, too. He's not just a linebacker. Although he's definitely a side-to-side linebacker. He's a thumper. He's got the speed, the athleticism, the strength, and the dude can pass rush. Okay, there's a lot of options now for Mike Caldwell to use with this defense. I applaud Trent Baalke and the Jaguars for having the conviction when they saw Devin Lloyd falling to move back up and to get a guy like him. I think it was a fantastic move. And yeah, pairing him and Foye Oluokun and a guy that we're going to talk about in a minute, Jaguars linebacking core went from completely depleted, emaciated, a joke, to legitimate. The Jaguars have a legitimate linebacking core, and that's not probably what Jaguar fans wanted to hear coming out of the draft, because we wanted George Pickens, and I'm talking about myself. We wanted George Pickens. We wanted Evan Neal. We wanted all these big offensive guys. We want to build around Trevor, build around Trevor, which I agree. But hear me out here. Hear me out. What if, in the Jaguars' minds, and again, I don't agree with Trent Baalke or Shad Khan a lot. I think they're both morons. But what if in their minds they said, we have enough conviction that Trevor will be good, or at least take a massive step from last year, just solely off of the jump from going Urban Meyer to Doug Peterson. That gap alone will be enough for Trevor to develop and have a good sophomore season, and to develop year 3 and 4 and so on and so on. That gap alone that Doug Peterson is from Urban Meyer will be enough of a huge improvement for Trevor alone. They obviously believe in Cam Robinson. They gave him a long-term deal. Cam Robinson is an elite left tackle. He's a solid left tackle. And you can definitely win with him. 2017, we won with him. Okay? We're getting Travis Etienne back. And James Robinson is the top 10 running back in the NFL. Okay? So we shouldn't have any issues there. And don't forget, Christian Kirk, is he a world beater? No. But you know what? He's the best receiver that we've had in a couple of years. Marvin Jones is still a solid veteran. I still believe, and I think they do too, that Laviska Shenault can turn it around and be more of what we saw his rookie year. And plus they have Jamal Agnew, Zay Jones, and Doug Peterson uses his tight ends a lot in his offense, and Dan Arnold and Evan Ingram are two really good receiving tight ends. I'm going to tell you guys now, Doug Peterson, when he was with the Eagles, even in their 2017 year, I don't think they had a 1,000-yard receiver, because Doug Peterson and his offense is going to spread the wealth. Okay, so maybe from their point of view, the Jaguars don't necessarily need that, excuse me, that DeAndre Hopkins-like guy. Or that, I can't think of Jamar Chase. Although, would Jamar Chase be amazing for Trevor? Obviously, yes. But I think the way that they look at it is Doug Peterson alone and how he's going to work with the tools that they have in the offense is going to be enough of such a jump from the offense last year to this year that they thought, let's go into this draft and let's fix the front seven. Because can we all admit the front seven sucked, was awful? How many teams at will could pop 6-7 yards at will running the ball? Over across the middle, little crossing routes. If it was a 3rd and short, just hand it up the middle, or just teams could think and dunk and drive down the field at will. Y'all remember that drive? The first drive of the game against San Francisco? It took up the whole first quarter doing that crap. Now, we shouldn't have issues with stuff like that with the front seven the way it is. 60th overall. The Jaguars did help Trevor a little bit, and the one area of the offense that really, really needed to be addressed, and that was the interior of the offensive line, the offensive line with Luke Fortner. So some people say he can play center, guard. I think what will happen is if it's close enough of a battle with him and Tyler Shatley, that they may give Shatley the start at center, and they might kick Fortner out to left guard. But I think the loser of that battle will probably end up playing left guard. Or, don't forget, Will Richardson has also played guard for us in the past, and they did re-sign him. So, there's that. Good value, good pickup there for the Jags. And then 70, pick 70, 75, 70 I think it is. The Jaguars drafted linebacker Chad Muma out of Wyoming. And I like the pick. I like it a lot. Why? But Jersey Jaguar. We just drafted Devin Lloyd. We signed Foye Oluokun. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And you know what? The linebacking core still was not what it could be. Probably should be. And with Chad Muma, again, guys, Devin Lloyd can rush the passer. Devin Lloyd can put his hand in the dirt. Okay? So on downs where you want to have you want to have Devin Lloyd kind of up near the line of scrimmage, you can have Oluokun and Muma both back there. And Muma's legit. I'm telling you, just because he went to a small school, don't overlook this guy. He's legit. I'm telling you guys, I give the Jaguars credit. They built this team through the draft to stop Derrick Henry, to stop Jonathan Taylor, and with this new front seven, they're going to stop a lot more than that. And the best offense sometimes is a good defense. And you know what? If you look at the AFC, and now I know this is a passing league, and if you're not putting up 35, 40 points a game, you might as well not show up sometimes, the way the NFL is. But you know what? You know why the Buffalo Bills couldn't beat the Chiefs in that playoff game? Because they couldn't stop a nosebleed. Couldn't stop anything. The Chiefs did whatever they wanted at will. Okay? Defense is part of the game. Defense is important. And for the first time since 2017, you can argue a little bit of 2018, with Andre Cisco finally getting playing time and adding Williams at corner, Shaquille Griffin's a good player, and then the continued progression of Tyson Campbell, the Jaguars secondary, okay, that's a good trio. Andre Cisco in the backfield, and then Rayshawn Jenkins is an okay player. That's the best our secondary has been in a long time, you guys. A long time. Jaguars defense is greatly improved after this draft. I think that we will see the best defense that we've seen since the 2018 season. Because we were still good in 2018. Not as good as 17, but in 2018, the only reason we won 5-6 games, whatever it was that year, was because of the defense. Moving on to the next pick, which honestly, for me, this is kind of where the draft just stops. Because they picked a running back. Not only did they pick a running back, they moved up a couple spots to pick a running back. And then instead of picking again 2 spots later, they traded it. But they traded it for a 4th, Tampa's 4th for next year. Which, I mean, next year we'll like it. But last Saturday I was kind of like, okay, whatever. They picked a running back, Snoop Connor. He's got a cool name, but... and some people are saying, oh, well, J-Rob's still hurt. They don't trust J-Rob's going to come back and Yada, blah, blah, blah. Again, I think it's the same thing as I was saying with the wide receivers. Doug Peterson is going to spread the ball, he's going to spread the wealth, and it's going to be a vast amount of people for different play designs, and he's going to run the ball with 3 people. Okay, Snoop Connor's not going to get the wealth of the carries. Okay, if James Robinson isn't fully healthy by the start of the season, he might get a little bit more, like in September. But by October, November, it's going to be the James Robinson and Travis Etienne show for sure. With Snoop Connor coming in, filling in here and there, specific packages for him. He seems like kind of more of a bruiser back, so maybe more like goal line stuff. If J-Rob needs, a breather, they might sub him out there. But honestly, I like Rock Armstead as that third back. I thought it was kind of a stupid pick, but it is what it is. Maybe we'll all like him, and if, every time he does something good on the field, the crowd will chant Snoop or something. I don't know. Whatever. And then they picked, I know I'm doing a review video. I'm such a bad fan. I can't even remember the dude's name. Junior or something. It's a corner out of a school nobody's heard of. A total project, developmental guy. Whatever. It is what it is. Maybe he's a practice squad guy. Maybe he's a special teamer. And then they picked another corner whose name is escaping me as well. Again, this is not the best review, but I believe he's from Arkansas or Oklahoma. And I heard that he did lead the SEC with interceptions last year, which is kind of cool. But again, that's probably more of a depth special teams kind of signing. However, the most exciting thing for me and a lot of Jaguar fans that happened on Saturday was a wide receiver, Kevin Austin, out of Notre Dame, that the Jaguars signed undrafted. I think they signed 14 or 15 dudes Saturday night. Not only did they sign this dude, but they gave him like a $250K signing bonus, fully guaranteed. Teams don't do that a lot with these undrafted guys. So I think there's a more likely than not chance that he actually makes the 53-man roster. Everything that I'm seeing, everything that I'm hearing, the dude's legit. He had a 3rd to 4th round grade on him. I'm not exactly sure why he fell or why he didn't get drafted, but maybe it'll be another Allen Hurns situation, so that'll be something in training camp and preseason to definitely look out for. We ain't throwing to Tavon Austin anymore, you guys, so there's that. That kind of wraps up my little draft review here. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments. What did you guys think of the draft? Did you wish that we would have walked away with George Pickens or a different receiver instead? Did you like how everything turned out with the Jags? Have the Jaguars done enough to build around Trevor Lawrence? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you think the Jaguars are finally going to be able to stop Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor? Let me know down below. Have a great day. Screw the Titans. Go Jags. Well, look at you. You made it through the entire video. I appreciate that. Since you've made it this far, you might as well go ahead and share this video with every Jaguar fan that you know. Really helps the channel grow, and hey, us Jaguar fans got to stick together. Duval!